According to Chris Rugari's family, there were many questions that have not yet been answered following claims that the child fell from the first floor to the ground through a window. End of April, news started circulating online over the death of a 2.5-year-old Nagwa Rugari, who is the fourth born out of the 5 children belonging to Chris Rugari, a diplomat, and his wife, Jolin Kanoheri. Nagwa was buried last Sunday. Preliminary investigations by police indicated that the child had no injuries against the claims of falling from the first floor. We today found police crime scene managers leaving the home of Rugari in Mutungo, where his wife Jolin and the maid were taken to reconstruct what happened on the fateful night. This is the storied house that the family has been staying in. We spoke to one of Jolin's relatives who did not want to reveal her name and identity.
She thought the children were safe down where she had left them. So, as she was checking for the keys, she hears a loud cry. And she came running and she wondered, she was like, I left my son down playing with the sister. How come I'm hearing his voice crying from outside? So she rushed and checked through the window that the boy went through and actually noticed that the boy was down. Was down trying to help himself to sit. The mother, her car wasn't starting. So in that night, she called the people from the hospital because she was familiar with them since they were always going there for treatment. So that she called them and they came and picked them from here.
Doctors at the medical facility in Chitintari realized that the boy was stable. He was discharged, but around 3 a.m., his situation worsened, according to Jolin.
So she went to check on the boy, but she noticed the boy had a very high fever. Up, the upper body, the head and the chest, they were so hot and he was sweating. And the lower part was cold. So that she got so scared and called again the hospital, which they rushed and came and picked her, and they went to the hospital. And that on arrival, they tried to put oxygen on him, which didn't work because that a few minutes later, Jolin says that she saw that thing on a machine that keeps going up and down. I don't know if that's the heartbeat, so that she saw it straightening, and his eyes went up, and the doctors were like, sorry, madam, your son has passed.
NTV spoke to Moses Karuhanga, who is Chris Rugari's lawyer.
And when Mr. Chris was ready to take the child for burial, he discovered the police could not allow them to take the body for burial because when they came, they discovered that the information that was shared by the mother of the child was not adding up. And
where are the other children of hers?
The other children, the firstborn, is with the father, and the other 2 boys are also with their family.
Which family?
The family, the father. Yes.
So, in other words, there were 2 children who were not for Rugari.
Yeah, 2 children are not for Rugari. And Rugari was also aware that he knew, so from the beginning he knew that the 2 boys.
Yeah, Mr. Rugari definitely rubbishes that nonsense of claiming that he granted permission to the wife to go and have children out of wedlock. I would definitely ask any man out there who is a father, who is a family man, how could you grant permission to your wife to go and get children from another man, and then you bring them into your home, look after them, give them your name?
Jolin told us that when they had their firstborn son, when he turned 4 months old, Rugari came and told Jolin that he wasn't interested in having more children and requested that she removes her uterus.
How can someone who wants you to remove a uterus go ahead and have children with you, support you during the pregnancy, you produce, he is available in hospital, he takes them to school, he looks after them, all the 5 children, as though they were his own children. he is the next of kin on all their medical documents, on all their legal documents.
But as a conveyor of the information, do you believe this could be a true story? Do you believe in your heart that this is a true story?
Yes.
That a woman can tell a husband that I'm going to have children outside because you're not giving me children, and the husband is okay with it?
Yes, it is true, because I had my doubts. So I went to Jolin's aunt, who happens to be a young sister to her late mother, who has been a mother figure in her life. This is a woman who has been visiting them.
Did Jolin tell you that Chris had in fact wanted to, they wanted to do a DNA on all the children this last week?
That I got from the lawyer. The lawyer said because Jolin had been complaining that Chris abandoned them, so they wanted to do DNA.
It is during that moment when they had scheduled an appointment for a paternity test in the afternoon of 2nd of April 2025 that he discovered he heard in the morning painfully that one of the children had passed away under very unclear circumstances.
But Chris, in other words, Chris didn't file for divorce that necessitated to carry out a DNA on the children to confirm that actually he had children who were not his as a basis of his evidence of adultery in the marriage.
Jolin filed for divorce, not Chris.
Sudhir Byaruhanga, NTV.